Hi everyone, welcome to your second concept video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about comments and why they're super useful in your programs. So comments are basically a symbol or descriptor used to describe certain functions in your code. They're really useful when you're working with other people or even working with like a lot of files, so that way you know what each file does or what each program does. And then it will also be very easy for you to find every line of code and kind of know if it's like useful or if it's like a line that you don't need in your program. I personally find commenting really helpful. Last semester I took a class where my final project was to develop a GUI, and I was working, a GUI is a graphical user interface, and I was working with over 6 files, and each file I think had like, I want to say like 500 lines of code. So when I was working on a different file, it was really easy for me to go on another file and see how that file is affecting the file that I'm working on. So that way I'm not like adding things that I don't necessarily need. So comments really helped me a lot for that class. So these are some of the reasons why I personally think comments are really crucial to programs, and they also make you a good programmer. So if you're commenting a lot, that's a good sign. So basically another thing is that they're also really good when you have really complex statements within your code, such as like functions or loops. So if you run your code and it doesn't work for some reason, you can go back to like a certain loop that you created and kind of go through it to see like where your loop is failing. In summary, I would say comments are great for debugging your program. So if something doesn't work, you're going to have to debug it and go through every line. So when you have comments, you can clearly know what each line is used for. It's also great for looking back at your programs, so that way you're kind of aware of what everything is doing. And then another thing is that they are used for complex statements, so that way you're not kind of like, there's a certain error that happens sometimes when you're commenting like an array like out of bounds, so that way if you go back and look through the loop, you can kind of see where that fail is coming from. And then for this class, you all will be expected to use comments when you're programming. It's good to kind of develop that habit at an early age. And then we'll also be expecting you guys to have file headers. So file headers are at the top of your file or program that you create, and basically you'll have like the author, which would be your name, and then what that file does, and that will be really helpful for when I'm grading everything. So that is like a quick overview of what comments are and why they're really helpful. So that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching.